Happy Monday, Thrivers. Heather here, coming to you with our Better Me, Better Marriage Challenge. How was your weekend? Are you feeling refreshed and eager to take on the new week? Are you dragging your feet? Are you dealing with some challenges, right? All along the spectrum, the ebb and the flow of life. How are you doing? And how is this challenge helping you? Is it helping you? Are you doing the work? Are you remembering to, check in every morning for about 5 minutes and then think of this challenge throughout the day and applying it, and then checking in with yourself at the end of the day? So today, we'll just do a little quick recap of last Friday when we did the number 5, which was I can choose to see, no, I can't remember it. I have it up in my bathroom, but I didn't bring it down today. All right, so if anyone can remember, it feels like it was so far long ago. Well, there it is. I was going to say I can choose to see it differently, but it's just another way of saying it. There is another way of looking at the world. And so what did you experience there? Did you experience some fear? And did you remember to say to yourself, I can choose to see this in a different way. I release this fear and I choose to see with love instead. And what kind of an impact does that make when we choose to have that love over that fear? Now, I love fear. I know that sounds strange. I actually love fear. I love negative emotion because I believe all of it is good and it's useful and it's needed because it gives us guidance in our life. And I'm actually putting together a special training on that, on Fear is a Teacher. We actually released it for those who are in our Thriving Marriage Mastery program, where you get our new training every single month. But I'm going to be doing a special training here for the Thriving Marriage on Thursday about how fear is a teacher and how we can learn so much from our fear. And if we allow to learn the lessons that it's trying to teach us. And as we choose to shift from a state of fear to a state of love, that is where our power lies. And that is where we find the truth of who we really are. And then we start to experience the things that we want to experience on that outer level of our lives. Just this last week, I had to face a couple things that I was pretty afraid about. I didn't want to have a really tough conversation with our former enrollment manager. And I chose instead just to let that go and to face it with peace and to face it with love and to choose to see things a different way because of this challenge. And it gave me the perspective to come at the situation with much more love in my heart, much more understanding, as well as just peace about, I know I'm making the right decision and I'm doing it for the right reasons. And the rest of it, I could simply let go. And that experience was much more pleasant for me. It still wasn't my favorite thing to do because we often have to do hard things in life, right? But I was able to get through that with just much more sincerity, as well as much more peace within myself. So I'd love to hear from you how it is going for you. All right, so today we're going to be talking about, this is in our book, A Mini Course for Life, okay? This is not me, this is definitely the author and their incredible wisdom here. All right, so getting and giving. It is important to remember that we all have everything we need within the present because love is the essence of our being. If we think we need to get something from others, we will love them when we get what we want and dislike or hate them when we don't. We frequently have love-hate relationships in which we find ourselves trading conditional love. The getting motivation leads to conflict and expressions of hostility towards ourselves and others. On the other hand, the giving motivation leads to a sense of inner peace and joy that is unrelated to time. Giving means extending our love with no conditions and no expectations. Peace of mind occurs when we focus our attention on giving and have no desire to get anything from or to change another person. So this is really the essence of unconditional love. And how many of us, including myself, get trapped into the idea of the giving and getting in a relationship. You're not meeting my needs, so I'm not going to meet your needs. You're shutting me out, so I'm going to shut you down when you try to approach me with something that you want. And the cycle just continues from there. Sorry, we'll talk. And so we get into a really nasty situation where one person starts to pull back, the other person starts to pull back, and it just creates a cycle of unhappiness. And then when we start to feel like we're giving, I'm giving you this, I'm giving you that, I'm trying to meet your needs, why aren't you meeting mine? Then that also creates a lot of tension and unhappiness, right? And so I understand that a lot of people here in this group are giving to their spouse. They are trying to meet their needs, but they're not feeling like it's reciprocated. So how do we shift out of that kind of frustrated state into a state of ease, into a state of peace, and a state of joy? Is that what we want? Let me know in the comments. Are you following me with this? Do you want to get to that place? Or do you want to stay stuck where you are? It's your choice. You know, we all have a choice and we get to make it every day. And sometimes we're trying really, really hard and we still feel like we're really, really struggling. And sometimes it feels like we're running our head into the same brick wall and not getting anywhere. And so what Mark and I teach is how to be like water and be able to go around that same rock that we're running our head into, or the wall, over and over and over, so that we can get to where we really want to be. Because there's many paths and there's many ways to get there when we learn how to tune in to our inner guidance system and learn some new skills, learn some new ways, have a new perspective. That's one thing I've really appreciated about this challenge. It's all about having a new perspective, that what we think is reality is just a story that we've made up. And I've known that before, but this has helped me to really bring it present into the day-to-day challenges of life and remind me that there's still work that I need to do as well. And that's okay. We are all progressing. I'm not here to shout out that I'm perfect and that I've completely mastered all of these things. No, I've made incredible progress. I have truly, completely transformed who I am, but it's a continual journey, right? And I'm recognizing that there's a few things that I need to work on, and there's more instances where I could choose to have love instead of fear. I can choose to give up those attack thoughts, especially against myself. My biggest war is often with myself, the woman I see in the mirror, and that internal dialogue, right? And choosing to let go of any type of complaining, because I recognized in this challenge, literally within the past 7 days, that every time I'm complaining, that I'm attacking against a circumstance, and I fall into that victimese instead of ownish, right? I'm speaking victimese. I'm speaking the language of a victim instead of owning the situation. And so becoming more aware of that has truly helped me. I just want to be really, really open here. I did not know that what this kind of love was. I'd heard about unconditional love, the love of a mother, the love of a parent to their child, the love of our Savior, that there's just this unconditional love, the love of the universe, if you want to call it that, just loving you no matter what, and loving you not in the sense of what are you going to do for me, or how are you helping me, or anything based on behavior at all, but just loving. Just pure, unadulterated love, right? And, you know, as a young adult, I had felt that kind of love, you know, as I brought children into the world, but I had never felt like I had really received that other than in a spiritual sense and from like my Savior, like I said, and felt that kind of inner love and inner peace from that universal force, the divine, which I believe is God and Jesus Christ. You can have your own belief. I'm not trying to push my beliefs on anyone. That's just the truth that I feel in my soul. So beyond that, in a sense of romantic love, I had only ever seen this model of this kind of push versus pull, the giving and getting, that the happy couples were the ones that had somehow figured out this balance of I'm able to give and get, and that they were both able to get their needs met, and that they were both able to like work that out. But mostly we see this conflict, right, between husbands and wives. It's an adversarial relationship. It is. We both need something desperately from the other. And when you need something from someone, that gives them power over you. And we don't like others to have power over us. So we try to diminish their power while still trying to get what we desperately need from them. And it doesn't work. It never, ever works that way. And so this is exactly the truth of it. Is learning how to let go of that kind of giving versus and getting model versus truly coming to a place of unconditionally loving our spouse. Going through the experience that I did at the age of 29 when I was diagnosed with cancer, I was very much more not in alignment with that And my husband was, and it surprised me. You know, I knew that he loved me, and I knew that he supported me and provided for me and protected me, that he was a good husband and a good father. We definitely had our ups and downs. We definitely had a lot of weaknesses, and we were definitely often in this kind of clashing of giving and getting. But when I was looking at, you know, going through chemo, and that I lost a breast, and I was pregnant, and I was bald, and I just felt completely unattractive physically, completely unavailable emotionally, completely unavailable physically to do anything, not even take care of my own children, to the point where I was like, what is my purpose? You know, I'm just like a shell of the person I used to be. And all I was I felt like I was a black hole, and I was sucking all of the energy and the life around me from everyone because of this circumstance. And I couldn't even take care of myself. I'd never been in that type of situation before. I had very independent and very, you know, wanting to do my own thing. And I'm the giver. I'm the one that takes care of the children. I give to my husband, and I do this, right? I am this person. I am the mover and the shaker, and I help others. And I was not used to being on the receiving end of that. I was not used to being in a needy type of state. Not only that, but I assumed in my heart, I really felt, no, maybe not my heart, that's not the truth. In the story that I had told myself that I had come so much to believe, that's the truth, was that I needed to do this, this, and this to get Ben's love. Can you relate to that? I need to be the good mother, the good wife. I need to show up. I need to be pretty. I need to be attractive. I need to do this work. I need to serve my husband. I need to be this, this, and this, and this in order to get my husband's love. That's how I felt. That's what I thought. And so when all of that was taken away, and I couldn't be this plus this equals Ben will love me anymore, I didn't know what to do. But you know what? I learned something. He still loved me. And that story that I told myself, that I had to be this, this, and this in order to receive love, in order to be worthy of love, or he's going to leave me probably for someone else. That's the story I had, honestly. And that I wasn't good enough if I wasn't those things. So when I wasn't those things, I realized that that was just a story. And he loved me anyway. He loved me with hair. He loved me bald. He loved me with a big belly. He loved me with a nice body. He loved me with a whole body. He loved me with a mutilated, deformed body that will never be what it was before. He still loved me. He loved me when I could take care of our children. He loved me when I was comatose on the couch because I literally was too weak to do anything. He loved me when I was there for him and I met his needs. And he loved me when I didn't meet his needs for months and months on end with no end in sight. We had no end in sight at that time. We didn't know how long it would be. We didn't know if this was going to be years. We didn't know if I was going to even make it a year, right? But he still loved me. And it taught me what that unconditional love was. And it taught me that this giving and getting was completely false. It was a completely false story that only led to unhappiness within me and unhappiness in my marriage. So I hope that that makes sense. And I am so grateful that I was on the receiving end of that kind of love. I knew Ben was a good man, right? We didn't always treat each other the best as we, as we probably should have. I knew he was a good man, but I never knew what it was like to receive unconditional love from my romantic partner, from my love, from my husband. And that through that experience, he taught me so much about what unconditional love really is. And I just felt a deep well grow within me of being able to receive that was profound. And I'm very grateful for that. I know that it does exist, and it's not just him. This is the part I really want to help everyone with, is that it's not just him. He is a wonderful, amazing person, but it's in each of us. And I have learned how to tap into it more and more over the years. And that is honestly the reason why I am so passionate and driven to help other couples, because I've seen other couples go through challenges and not make it. In going through cancer, I saw other couples going through the same things and then ending in separation or divorce because they couldn't make it through that challenge that life put on them. And it just broke my heart to see that, whereas I knew that there was some truth that Ben was showing me, and I wanted others to be able to find that. I wanted to find it in myself, because it is there within each of us. And I understand you might be saying like, oh, Heather, you're so lucky, right? You just had this incredible man. And that's absolutely true. I do have an incredible man. But what I have learned is that that incredible person is truly within each of us. It is. And your spouse might not be treating you like that. And you might not be treating them like that. And that's okay, because it's where you are on your journey. Just don't give up hope and recognize that you can find the truth of who you are. You can let go of the stories that have been holding you back, just like the stories were holding me back and keeping me in pain and my marriage in pain for a really long time. And sometimes life throws us some really incredible challenges. Sometimes we have to hit rock bottom before you recognize that those are just stories, and we can learn to let them go. We can learn to create a new story. We can learn to become a new person. I don't even believe it's a new person, actually. I believe it's just the truth of who we are, who we have always been. It's kind of like a process of unlearning. We're learning who we are, but we're also unlearning all of the false junk that we've picked up along the way and letting that go. So that was really, really long, but I just felt really impressed to share that. And this is the heart of our business. It's the heart of what we do. It's the heart of our program. And it's really about helping people to come to the truth of who they are so that we can all give this kind of unconditional love to others without thinking about what we're going to get in return, with no desire to get anything from anyone else or to change anyone else. And when you live from that place, it is a place of peace. It is a place of joy. Like it says at the beginning of this book, peace is only found within me. So if that's truth, if you know that that's true, I know that that's true. Do you know that that's true? If that is true, that peace only comes from within, what choices are we going to make so that we can live in that peace more often than not, and live with happiness and joy more often than not? Okay, so with all of that being said, our challenge today, day number 6, here we go. I can see peace instead of this, whatever this is, right? Whatever's not peace, whatever the story, like I illustrated with my story, whatever the fake story is that we believe on some level is not really true. And I can see peace instead of this. All right, I'm going to read the lesson on the back. Most of the time, I see a fragmented world where nothing seems to make much sense. The bits and pieces of my daily experience reflect the chaos I see within. Today, I welcome a new perception of myself and the world. Whenever I feel that my peace is threatened by anything or anyone, I will repeat to myself, I choose to see the unity of peace instead of the fragmentation of fear. So beautiful. All right, I'm going to keep this with me all day. I hope that you do as well. If you don't have the book with the tarot cards, go write it on a piece of paper, go put it on your phone. We all have phones and we all have them with us all the time. So there's really no excuse. I can see peace instead of this. So I challenge you to do that. And if you're with me, go ahead and put that in the comments. I could see peace instead of this. Recognize that we all have that choice every moment of every day. And that is how we truly get to live with peace. All right, appreciate you guys. I'm grateful for you. I hope you have a fabulous day and we will see you tomorrow.